Well, hi, I am back today. And as you can see, I'm back without my partner in crime, Connie. Connie is still out of commission. She's got shingles and it's really taken the wind out of her sails. So she's resting and I'm here. And what I wanted to share with you is that we've been talking and we're thinking about changing things up a bit with our weekly blog. We've been doing a blog for, every week for I think almost 6 years. And what we've decided to do is to do a blog when there really seemed to be a topic to do a blog on, rather than just, okay, what are we going to talk about this week? So that it's a little more spontaneous. And so we want to enlist you, our audience, to make suggestions. If there's anything you'd like to hear us talk about, um, just send us an email or write a comment in this blog um, post, and we'll take it from there. We will continue to offer a new recipe every week. So we'll post that and we'll let you know about the recipe if we don't do a full blog. But what I thought I'd talk about today is something that came up in our community call yesterday on Saturday. And one of the participants had shared how she had had an insight about her sister, a difficult relationship she's had with her sister for her whole life, really, like 70 years. And with this insight, she said it was so amazing because she suddenly just felt free. It no longer burdened her. And what a miracle that seemed to be, that experience of just looking back at all the stress and tension that's always been between the two of them, and how in a moment it could just shift like that and she could suddenly feel free. It's kind of neat because she used the word, it's like a miracle. And what that did is it brought up a conversation about how we experience life. And there's an old saying that we're not human beings having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And so, in the context of this conversation, it's kind of like there's this world that we live in. There's this outside world, and we have a body that's in this outside world, and all of this. And all of these things, our bodies and the world and the universe, everything's following these laws of nature, gravity, the laws of thermodynamics, all these things, they're very logical, they're very predictable because they follow these laws of cause and effect. But our experience of life, what we experience life to be, all happens inside us. And I'm pointing here, so it's somewhere inside our body, but really our experience of life, where does that even, is that happening in our bodies? It's like where we experience life isn't the outside world. We don't actually experience the outside world, if that makes sense. What we experience is our interpretation, is our feelings and the meaning that we give to the input that we have through our senses of the outside world. Does that make sense? We don't experience the outside world. What we're experiencing is the meaning, the result of the meaning that we give to what our senses take in from the outside world. And that's how it's possible for something like a lifelong relationship to just change on a dime like that. Because our life, what creates the experience of our life, does not follow these laws of cause and effect that are all around us. Where the conversation went was that our experience of life is constantly unfolding moment to moment. It's constantly fresh and new moment to moment. it's like the old saying, if you've heard it, you can't step twice into the same river. Meaning that, you can be standing beside the Colorado River and you can step into the river and you step out. And then when you step into the river again, it's still the Colorado River, but it's not the same river. It's not the same water. It's constantly fresh and new. The water of the river is constantly in flux. And that's what our life is as well. It's like our experience of life is like this river. There's this river of life that's moving through us and is constantly fresh and new, which means that it's possible for something that has repeated itself over and over and over again to be able to change on a dime. Because what created that repetition wasn't that we were stepping into the same river, it's that we were giving the same meaning and the same interpretation to stepping into the river. And suddenly, with this new insight, we saw that, oh, look, it's actually a new river that I'm in. I don't have to continue to believe that it's what it appears to be because I see now a deeper reality, a deeper truth. That's what an insight is. So, we coach a lot of people, and what we coach them around is insight. We point them to how life really works and who we really are as a way to help them see more deeply into their experience of life so they can have an insight like she had that can not change anything on the outside, but leave everything in our experience of life completely new and different. And that's just so beautiful. Yeah, I think that's what it's all about. It's so um, such a joyful thing to know that regardless of what my experience is right now, it's not permanent. Life isn't the result of these laws of cause and effect. Life, my experience of life, is the result of my thinking, the meaning, interpretation that I'm giving to the input from my senses. And the more I'm able to see deeply into the reality of how this experience of life occurs, that I'm always feeling my moment to moment thinking. I'm not feeling what's actually happening out there. When I understand, I have this insight that that's what I'm experiencing, then I'm not as attached to feeling like I have to get all the ducks in the row out there in order to have a better feeling or in order to feel happy about my life or whatever. And that is a very freeing experience. So I wanted to share that with you this week, just because it was a fun conversation and I really like where it went, and I hope it was meaningful to you. So we'll see you again when we see you. We will keep sending out a new recipe every week, and the recipe this week is for a peach pudding. So it's peach season here in the Okanagan. We had a lot of peaches, and I put together a new peach pudding recipe, and we'll share that with you. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now.